to today's show, everybody. Today I want to cover this news story that has somewhat gone viral, which is just amazing how they just somehow, whenever there's an actual conspiracy, out there for the media to pick up on, obviously they're never going to, right? They're never going to touch into some of this real stuff that's going on, but they love the things like this because when somebody out there who has a conspiracy channel or conspiracy website runs with a story like this, the media loves it because they can use this to make anyone out there who speaks against the New World Order about conspiracies look insane or look crazy because there's no proof or anything to back it up except staring at a picture for hours and saying, oh, yep, maybe, maybe not. And that's the story that apparently Taylor Swift, according to some, I don't know who came up with this story first, but they're claiming that Taylor Swift is a clone of Satanist Anton Lavey's daughter, Zena Shrek. So the conspiracy is that she was cloned in a clone of Zena Shrek. Even though I look at the picture, I see no resemblance whatsoever. I mean, I really don't see a resemblance. You could look at it all day and you can decide if you want to or not. That's my opinion on the matter. So the first thing I want to say is because people will ask me, well, you don't believe they can clone? Of course I believe they can clone. Of course I do. But don't you see, when you take a conspiracy like this, just like the, talking about Katy Perry and JonBenet Ramsey, things like that. You see the media likes to pick up on that? Because what does it do? It discredits anyone out there that speaks against mainstream media, that speaks against the government, that speaks against these elitists, and talks about these plans that they have for us. We talk about the FEMA camps, talk about how they're trying to censor Christianity, talking about the gay agenda, the transgender agenda, the race war, martial law, right? All this stuff going on, biological warfare, the chemtrails, these serious things that are going on. When stories like this come out, they love picking up on it because they can just go, look how crazy these people are. They're claiming that this person is a clone of so-and-so. And then the only evidence they have is showing a photograph of the two people. That's like me saying I crap golden turds and not being able to show you any proof of it. So this story has gone somewhat viral where they're saying, you can see a lot of people have picked up on it. You can see here, internet users go into total frenzy over bizarre conspiracy theory that Taylor Swift is actually a former satanic leader. Internet commentators have latched onto a theory that links 26-year-old pop singer to a former high priestess of the Church of Satan. Zena Shrek, formerly Zena Lavey, is the daughter of the church founder, and served as spokesperson from 85 to 90. People have noticed that Taylor bears an uncanny resemblance to Zena and speculated they might actually be the same person. Others have guessed that Taylor is Zena's secret daughter or clone. So I don't know where this started from. Here you can see a photo of Zena Lavey, okay? And now all of these mainstream sites that have picked up on it, what they're saying is they're going, well, according to Zena Lavey's site, or Zena Shrek as she goes by now, she's now a practicing Buddhist and all this stuff, and but nobody really knows where she is. Well, I know where she is because I just did a video talking about the satanic ritual, the satanic invocation that went on in Alaska. Oh, you know who the one who gave the invocation was? Oh, it was somebody who went by the name of Iris Fontana, who just happens to be Zena Shrek. They're the same person. You need evidence? Here's the photographs of the two side by side. They're the same exact person. So now the mystery will go on as if it's this huge thing we know Taylor Swift is a Satanist. We know that she's involved. She's some type of a witch, and she's involved in the coven. She wouldn't be in the position she is. Her music is obviously demonic. We've seen all of her, albums and her photos, and her with the bird cages, her doing the all-seeing eye with the butterflies. We know she's under MK Ultra mind control. We know she's a slave to their system. We've seen her, her song "Coming Out of the Woods" or "Into the Woods," talking about coming out of the woods. Referencing the witches and the Satanists are coming out of the woods, coming into the mainstream because they already are. So this is the theory, which I'll read you some of the stuff that it says. Talking about Zena Shrek. In 1985, the Satanic Panic was sweeping the nation. During the late 80s and early 90s, a large number of paranoid Americans worried that Satanists were committing ritualistic murders and abusing children. They were, and always have been, okay? This goes back to the Canaanites sacrificing children. This is still going on today. It says it's impossible that Taylor Swift is really a time-traveling high priestess of the Church of Satan because her doppelganger is still around, and she's aged since the infamous 1985 interview. I mean, look at this stuff. They're actually even saying it's the same person, even though Zena Lavey, we've just seen evidence. Zena Shrek, she also goes under the name of Iris Fontana, she was just doing an invocation in Alaska. It's the same person. Taylor Swift is not her. Now, okay, you want to say, oh, she's a clone of her? Well, where's the evidence to prove that she's an actual clone? Other than looking at photos and going, they look very similar. See, this photo, I mean, I can see some people saying, well, there's some similarities, but you could say that about a lot of people. You know, you could say that, oh, this person kind of looks like this person kind of looks like that person. Does it make them a clone of the person? Could it be? Could she be a daughter of her? Absolutely she could be. Could she have been, could they have forced Zena Shrek to get pregnant? And I mean, of course they can. You know how this works. Okay, this network, this is all inbred, incestual, this satanic network, or parents will prostitute their children into it and stuff like that. So that wouldn't be a surprise. But now, this is the fact that they have this going on. They can link, like I've said over and over, they want to link the term conspiracy theory to anything that they can. Because what does it do? It discredits people who expose stuff, who show the actual truth, right? Who should tell people out there, look, this is what's going on. And then they'll come out there and they'll say, well, what about UFOs? What about the Loch Ness Monster, right? Conspiracy theory, by definition, means a belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for a circumstance or an event. Okay? So let's not link that to, is Taylor Swift, secretly the daughter of Anton Lavey's daughter? Is Taylor Swift the clone of Zika Shrek? But this is what they want to do. So when people do stories like this, they love it. The media loves it. They'll make it go mainstream. You report a story like this, it'll go viral. They want it to go viral so they can go look at these people, look what they're saying, and then everybody out there hears it and they roll their eyes. Just like the Joan Benet Ramsey, Katy Perry thing, right? People were going crazy about it, and everybody was making fun of anyone out there who, links these Satanists together, links these occultists together, links all of this stuff together, right? Because it just sounds like an insane story because there's no evidence to prove that Katy Perry is Joan Benet Ramsey without, oh, look at the photos. Yes, I know some people have done videos on it. I was never convinced. That's my opinion. Then I'm not convinced. I mean, could Taylor Swift be her daughter? Of course, anything's possible. I wouldn't put anything past these Satanists. Could she be a clone? I mean, I suppose. I don't think that they're that much alike that she would look like a clone of her. But let's make one thing straight, because the Inquisitor and these other outlets are actually reporting that they could be the same exact person. That's because she was a witch, she never aged, and she's now Taylor Swift. That's one of the theories that's going around, and that is just not true. Because she is out there still performing. Like Zena Shrek is still out there. She's still, she might claim that she's not a Satanist anymore. There's stories out there where she came forward. There's a lot of stories that, you can form your own opinion on because you're entitled to do that. But there's stories where Lavey on his deathbed said, what have I done? And then she's come out and said, oh, my dad's religion was a crock and stuff like that. But that's just to discredit. That's to make it look like Satanism isn't still going on, right? She claims that she's a Buddhist. She's a Tibetan Buddhist practicing it, right? Even though she was up doing an invocation in Alaska for the Satanic Temple. What a coincidence. Talk about lying. They don't think you're going to pick up on stuff like this because she can go up there under a false name, right? She can go up there and say, I'm Iris Fontana. I'm going to sing and look like an imbecile in front of you and do an invocation and not think that anybody's going to be able to connect the dots between me being her. Well, it is her. They're the same person. She just performed an invocation. So don't tell me she's Buddhist. Don't tell me that she's no longer practicing satanic rituals. Don't give me this story of, oh, well, she came out into the public and said her dad's religion was a crock and all this stuff. Meanwhile, we have all these satanic temples popping up around the country, more and more people believing in it. Okay? That's her way of trying to discredit it so she can say, listen, it's not real. There's no human sacrifice. My dad was making it up. Her father was involved in plenty of human sacrifices. I'll guarantee it. Okay? Writing the Satanic Bible, running this, and then trying to form it and pretend that it's like an atheistic version of Satanism, that they're really atheists there, that they're not Satanists, that they don't follow Crowley's teachings as well. It's a diversion from Crowley's teachings. That's what it is. Okay? But these people still know what's going on. Lavey even talks about in his books, he talks about hiding it, not letting people know, deny it. All these Satanists do. That's how they get away with being in public. That's how witches and all them get away with it. They're told to deny it. Okay, this has been going on for a while because they used to get, hung on trees and things like that. So obviously they would go, oh, well, we're not going to tell people anymore, right? They still haven't revealed it, but like Taylor Swift says in her song, and all these Satanists do, they're coming out of the woods into the public now because they've brainwashed everybody since the advent of television and music and all this stuff. They've brainwashed everybody into being down with it. Being, oh, it's just a witch. Let her practice her religion. You practice yours. 100 years ago, that wouldn't fly. Are you kidding me? Wouldn't even come close to flying. wouldn't be going on. Witches wouldn't be flying. They'd be getting hit with brooms across the face by all these people who are Christians or fighting for Jesus Christ. They would be letting them do this and brainwash children into becoming witches and Satanists. But this is the world we live in now. So this is the theory. The theory is that Taylor Swift is a clone of Zena Shrek. And I'm not saying that it's not a possibility that she's the daughter or potentially a clone. I don't see a resemblance in the photos. I mean, of course you can see a resemblance with a few features, right? I mean, look at this picture: ruby red lipstick, blondish hair. Of course, there's some things, but then I can show you another photo where they look nothing alike. Sometimes you get if you get the face, looking the same direction as someone else. I mean, look, they're both painted up like clowns anyway. They look pretty similar with their clown paint on, but it's not really proof. But the reason that this goes mainstream, the reason that you're seeing this story pop up, is because they use this stuff to make anyone out there who is talking about cloning, who is talking about transhumanism, who's talking about the New World Order, who's talking about all of this stuff going on, martial law, and you name the agenda they're pushing. Anyone who's talking about it, they use stories like this, CERN and all that too that's going on. They use this to discredit people who are exposing what they're doing because they link it into the basket of conspiracy theory, and then they go, oh, come on, you're speaking like whoa, if you start talking about CERN, you start talking about any of this stuff, somebody will go, oh, come on, next thing you're going to tell me is that Taylor Swift's a clone of Zena Lavey. That's why they do it. They use humor, they use mockery, they take outlandish stories like the Katy Perry one and JonBenet Ramsey when there's no real evidence involved, and of course if you believe that, you're entitled to, but I sure don't. But they take that stuff, and this is what they do with it. They use it to mock and ridicule the truth, and that way people automatically dismiss things that they hear that are outside of mainstream media, right? Their brain automatically dismiss it because they go, oh yeah, okay, another one of these theories, because they've already been conditioned to think, oh, theory. You can't think anything outside of what the media tells you, because if it is, it's, the people who are talking about 9/11 being an inside job are the same people who are talking about Anton Lavey's daughter being Taylor Swift. And that's why people just go, yeah. So that's why it's been picked up. I just wanted to report on that. And don't forget, okay, this Zena Lavey, who, like I said, some of these stories are reporting that she's actually could even be the same person. She's still out there promoting Satanism. She uses alter names, false names, just like Iris Fontana, and I'm sure she has others. She still supposedly does, artistic, I forget what they call it, but like artistic dancing and stuff, which is ritual dancing. She's still putting spells on people. She's still a practicing witch. There's no doubt about it. So don't buy into this nonsense that she's not anymore, and that she doesn't believe in her father. She's saying it was a hoax and a fraud, that the devil's not real. That's what they want you to think. It's still going on. She's still a part of it. Give me a break already. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you. May peace be with you.